Okay, guys, a quick little review on just the simple or more simple versions of the central angle arc measure video that you should have already watched. So the first thing in this question here, we're trying to find the measure of the arc indicated. And so that arc that is indicated is this major arc IFH. And so what that looks like is I have to find the arc measure of these three sections. You should notice pretty quickly GI and FH, those are diameters. They both cross at the center, therefore these two are equivalent because of the vertical angles property that we've discussed in time past. So the way that we find this section right here is we got to take, because GI is a diameter, then that means from I to G is 180 degrees. And then we subtract this 61, and that's going to give us 119 for the minor arc IF. Well, we have to find all three of these things, and we have identified that these two in blue here are congruent. So in order to find the major arc IFH, we have to take that 119 we just found, and we got to add 61, and then we have to add another 119, and that will give us 299 for our major arc. In this example, we're trying to find the measure of the arc indicated, and that arc is the minor arc KG. So we're trying to find this yellow arc here. But we need to use this green one here as well, because if you notice, G to J is a diameter, so we know that that's 180 degrees. The first thing that we need to do is solve for x. So in order to do that, we know that the yellow and the green sections there that we've highlighted are 180 degrees. So we need to take x plus 115 plus x plus 71, and that equals 180 degrees. Combine your like terms, you get 2x plus 186 equals 180. Subtract 186 from both sides of the equal sign, which will make it look like 2x equals 180 minus 186. Simplify, you get 2x equals negative 6, and then x equals negative 3 when you divide by 2. Now that we have x, we have to substitute the x into that yellow section there to find that minor arc KG. So negative 3 is the x, plus 115 is going to give us our answer of 112. In this example, we have a couple different things we need to find. First, we need to find the measure of central angle UPQ. That's right here. That's this section right here where it's represented with the arc measure of 2x plus 64. We know that the central angle and arc measure are the same, so that's the expression we're going to have to figure out. We're going to need to use this section as well, this arc UT, because this is a diameter, and that's going to give us 180 for our total, and then we can solve for x. Then we need to solve for y, and you should be able to see that these three sectors here are the same value. Okay, so first thing we got to do is solve for x, and then we have to substitute the x. So those two kind of maroon or burgundy sections there, we have 2x plus 64. We're going to add to that x plus 50, and because QT is a diameter, it equals 180 degrees. Combine like terms or simplify the left side to be 3x plus 114 equals 180. Subtract 114 over to that 180, and then simplify that. You get 3x equals 66, which means x equals 22. And then, like we just said, substitute the x for the central angle we're trying to find, which is 2x plus 64, which looks like 2 times 22, because 22 is our x, plus 64. That's going to simplify to 44 plus 64, which gives us our answer of 108 degrees for the measure of angle UPQ. Then to find y, we have to take the information that we know to help us with these three sections. And so we see that these three sections are the same value because they all have congruence marks. So we'll take this 22, plug it in here, and that's going to give us a 72. So when we're solving for y, it's 360 degrees for the full circle. We're going to subtract this 108 that we just found, and then we have 72 for this section here, this arc, which means all three of these are 72, which just means we subtract 72 three different times. And then we can simply put that in our calculator and get 36 for our value of y. For this example, we have to find the measure of this central angle LGH. We can also use the arc measure because over here we're given a bunch of arc measures, and again, central angle and arc measure are the same value. So the first thing that we got to do, find central angle LGH, and then we have to then take these three sections because IL is a diameter, and if you add these three up, you're going to get 180. Once you add those three up, then you should notice H to K is a diameter. So if you just substitute X into these two sections here, it's going to give us the same value as that section there. So first, add these three up to 180, find X, substitute the X into the IJ arc measure and JK arc measure, and then find that total, because that total will equal the answer that we are trying to find. So here we have to again take the three sections right here that we first highlighted in blue, and we got to add those together, and they equal 180. That's going to help us solve for X. So we have X plus 52 plus X plus 72 plus 68 is equal to 180. Combine like terms, simplify the left portion of the equal sign. We get 2x plus 192 equals 180. 2x equals 180 minus 182. We got to move that 192 by subtraction. And then simplify, we get 2x is negative 12 and x is negative 6. This is a couple times you've seen that x can be a negative value, and that's okay as long as it doesn't create a negative angle here or a negative arc measure. The second thing we have to do is substitute x into those two expressions that we see for ij and jk. So negative 6 plus 52, that's going to be 46 degrees. And then negative 6 plus 72 is going to be 66 degrees. We can add all three of those things together, and you'll see that it's 180 degrees. But what we need to make sure that we do is add these two yellow sections up, because these two are congruent to this one because of this vertical angle property that it creates with these diameters. So we just need to find the sum of the measure of arc ij and the measure of arc jk, which is what we just found, which is 46 plus 66, and that'll give us our answer of 112 degrees. Okay, so in this example, we're trying to find the measure of arc IE, which is right here. But you should notice here that every single central angle is given to us. And so we will just simply add all those up to 360 degrees and solve for x, and then substitute the x. This problem, they're trying to trick you because they give you central angles on all four of these, but not here. Again, it requires that you understand that central angle and arc measure will give you the same value. So in order to find this, again, we solve for x, and we have to add all five sections up, all five pieces that they give us, because they do give us the entire circle in terms of the information that we need. So we're going to start with x plus 54, add x plus 105, add x plus 117, and then add 60, add 45, and all five of those things add up to 360 degrees. We simplify the left side of the equal sign. We'll notice that there's 3x, and then if you add each of the constant values there, you get 381, and all that equals 360. Move the 381 by subtraction and get 3x equals 360 minus 381. 3x equals negative 21, and x is equal to negative 7. From here, it's just simply substituting into the portion that we need, which is this portion right here. So we have, it's this portion here, x plus 54. So that'd be negative 7 plus 54 gives us our final answer of 47. Guys, this is the a little bit more difficult, the algebraic piece of central angles and arc measures. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.